Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Blair Halver. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Transactional Real Estate Podcast. Or maybe you're watching on YouTube or somewhere else. Thank you for joining us. In this episode, my business partner Jeff and I are going to field some questions from some of our private mentoring clients about deal structuring and how to do deals and how to get the business running and that sort of thing. So I think you're going to get a lot out of that. And so you definitely want to stay tuned. And if you want to learn more about how to become a transactional real estate engineer, in other words, creating win-win deals out of thin air with motivated sellers, whether they got enough equity for a cash deal or not. We're looking at cash, terms, everything in between, and literally have doubled our conversion rate just by taking the blinders off from wholesale and rehab over into lease options, wrap mortgages, seller financing, everything else. And so I think you're going to get a lot out of that. And if you want to learn more, please check out our free webinar at blairhalver.com. That's BLAIRHAL, V as in Victor, ER.com. We'll put a link somewhere in the show notes. But check out the free webinar, which is called How to Consistently Do 5 or More Deals a Month Without Wholesaling, Without Rehabbing, Without Chasing Deals, and without working 80 hours a week. Sounds pretty good, right? All right, well, check that out later. Right now, enjoy this episode. We'll see you on the flip.
All right, Rob, are you there?
I am. You hear me?
I can hear you fine. Let me
Okay, good.
clear the screen here.
Excellent.
What's crack-a-lacking down in your neck of the woods today?
Well, I'm gonna give you an update on a couple things. I had won a townhouse and produced sent the offer in, and the guy came back and he said, "Well, I need 10,000 more." And I said, "Well, that's not what you said." Long story short, I went through the numbers again. And I said, "Well, it hurts me a little bit, but it's not terrible. Still, if I give him what he's looking for, I've got 500 a month cash flow and about a $19,000 if my ARV is right. And my ARV could be a little bit low. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go talk to hopefully shake on this and get it signed tomorrow, but shake on it this weekend, go through the property and talk to him, get his complete cooperation on this. And I'm trying to get a longer term. He wanted to give me 5 months. I said, I got to have at least a year, and I'm really going to push it to try to get 2 years. And I explained to him, look, I'm not going to use the 2 years if I can help it, but I got to get, flexibility. And I think I'll be okay. I'm still okay if I get 1 year, I think, on this property. It's okay. It's just, it'll be stressful, but I think it'll be okay.
You think it'll move quickly?
Yeah, it's a nice townhouse. It's in Delray, which is a very hot area. There's a lot of good, positive economics in Delray, and I think it'll go, especially with a starter finance. And then I've got a very good lender who can work with people to get them qualified. And, I think putting that all in up front, not holding anything back, I can say, look, you're going to get into the property. You're going to own the property. I'm going to work with you to get it refinanced. I'm actually going to turn them over to this guy to do that. And I think, okay. Yeah. And it's a nice townhouse. I mean, it's something that people would want.
Sure.
So that one I think is good. So it's, not bad. 500 a month and 19,000.
And keep in mind, when you sell that, especially if you're selling it out on a lease option, you can typically get more than ARV. You can get more than, what we would consider to be a comp value because you are offering financing. And it's typically not a problem on the refinance part because you have to make them understand, and I think we've got some language in there that if not, we can give that to you. But what you're offering these folks is an opportunity home ownership where today they don't otherwise qualify for it. And you're offering an opportunity to do it at a lesser down payment that they may normally get today. And so let's say that the house is worth 100,000, the market's 100, and they can only get a loan for 100, but you could still charge them 110. And you just have to tell them that 10 is the extra value that we're providing by providing you an opportunity to become a homeowner in advance of you literally qualifying to become a homeowner.
Yeah, that could work.
Cash they've got to make up, that type of thing.
Yeah, that could work on this. This could go to 25 or 29,000 with that kind of strategy. So that's great.
Excellent. Okay. Well, that sounds good. That sounds like a good one. I hate to see these guys putting the boots to you and try and get more on the deal, but
Yeah, you know, and I went back and I went, well, you know, actually, maybe I'm being a little greedy here to beat him up so much, but I'll talk to him and I'll still try to beat him up for, you know, 5,000 bucks or something. Try to get him.
There you go. Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Small. So if I stand next to a guy who's very short, sometimes they'll cave.
It does work. Yeah, I'm 6'2", so I understand what you're saying.
I'm just saying, you stand real close and you seem 3 times as tall.
There you go.
Yeah, I have another deal I'm going to pop up. This is fun. I think this is a bit like Luann's deal that I think it's really close. That this is another townhouse. This is in West Palm. She's got a 225 mortgage. She probably overpaid for this property when she got it just a couple of years ago, but she's just fed up. She's just getting out of Florida. I mean, I don't know what happened, but she's, you know, payments are 1126. Her interest is 3.75. I mean, but she's probably got a 30-year mortgage and she's hardly paid any of it down. It looks like she put in maybe as much as 60,000 to get the place. It's just tight. I mean, you know, the Zestimate on this is about 335. She's got to get 311 to break even. So, you know, and taxes are 2,400, insurance is 1,000, and HOA is 255 a month. So, you know, I don't know.
So on the surface, it looks like you've got 20-something thousand of potential equity.
Yeah.
And she's, you know, you don't have to put any money up to do the deal.
No.
But what's the monthly again? What's the total monthly that, you know, you'd have to be paying?
Total monthly, pre-average it out, 2, 3, let's call it 1,500.
Okay. And what do you think?
Zillow claims that it's a $2,500 rent. So if that would do, that would buck it up a little bit.
Yeah. You know, that may be all right, because if you could net $1,000 a month on a deal like that, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah. And then just do the similar strategy that we just talked about for the other one.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, get them qualified and so forth.
My gut is, based on 2,500 a month, it may have a higher value than 335. I mean, it could be, you know, and Zillow tends to be low. Remember, if you have a choice between Zillow and Redfin or Movito or something like that, I would not use Zillow. They tend to be low. Certain areas they're okay, but they're never at the top of the market, and they're frequently at the lower half of the market in terms of potential comp pricing.
Well, maybe that's a good thing to be conservative on it. So
absolutely,
you know, final bid, yeah. So maybe that's maybe not a bad thing.
Yeah, if you can make it on a Zillow number, you're going to probably make some more money.
Yeah,
I'd be careful before pricing it, though, because you could be leaving a lot on the table.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll check that. And then lastly, for now, I got potentially a couple of other things in the works too. But this other one that was a little complicated. I went by the property. I know I wasn't supposed to, but I did. And I had already talked to this guy. This is a property. Let's think of it as 5 units. It's not really 5 units. It's a house and 2 efficiencies and a separate building. It's on kind of a compound. The whole asking price of about $950. And I went by it and I looked at it again with new eyes, and I said, God, this is like the worst house on the block. And if I can't, and I went and I said, look, I need to try to do terms. Well, I want to do that. Okay. So I went through that, and then I called him back. I said, how about an option to buy? What if I give you a price? And so I've been running through the numbers, and I talked to a couple of developer friends, and I said, look, I might have a property for you that you could pop up in value 30-40% with some work.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got a decent, I mean, based on a conservative ARV with 50,000 in, so it's $1 million in on the property ballpark, $1.2 million ARV with a new face to the house, fix up the pool, just kind of clean it up, some painting, you know, some landscaping, very big down here. It's about a 7.5 cap rate, which is reasonable.
Right.
It's not great, but it's not stupid. It's not like saying, oh, it was a 20 cap rate. No, it's not. It's 7.5 cap rate. And it's got, you know, with I think that they're not pulling in. I think that the potential revenue on it is 8 to 10,000 for everything, and maybe more if they do a nice job. So I'm looking at taking that option and saying, look, this is what I think. This is my dream. Let's take a look. You see if you have a dream when you see this thing, because it really is. It's an ugly house on a street of some really nice 1920s, 1930s stucco homes. And why this thing is there, I don't know. I don't care. But if somebody comes and fixes it up, they could really pop up the value and the street appeal and everything else.
That sounds good. Those are the kinds of plays that you can make a lot more money on than, a typical subject to. So you may have a good one there. If you could get it up to 10,000 a month rent, is that what you're saying? Keep it as a 5-unit?
Yeah, keep it, at 10,000 a month. Now it's, in the range of understandable, so if it's producing 20,000, it's worth 1.2 or more. Now it's kind of, it's tight. It's not great, but if somebody comes in and says, oh, I know what to do, and you can pop it up 200,000 or 300,000 in value, now you're talking.
Right.
And that's what I think this neighborhood is capable of.
Right. Well,
So
as an option, you've got a lot of opportunities too. I mean, you can get an option on it. You could turn around and peddle it to one of your redeveloper friends.
Yeah.
And you might be able to pick up a quick 50,000.
Yeah, that's the number I was thinking too. That's not unreasonable.
Yeah.
But it's all packaged, and it's a handshake and so forth. So
yeah, I mean, for $10, you're making potentially 50. Even if you cut it in half and made a quick 25,000,
right.
That's not chump change. You do a couple of those a month, and pretty soon you're talking real money.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah, absolutely.
That could be a good deal right there.
Yeah. So that's what I think. I think that's what he really wants. He wants to cash out of the thing and so forth. And then, so, I think that may work better for him. And
right.
He just, anyway, I'm trying to make everybody happy, and I've got to stop doing that. That's stupid, trying to make everybody happy.
Right. You got to make Robert Bailey happy first,
exactly.
Then everybody else. And,
yeah,
that's the best. But you got some nice deals there. I mean, just what you went through here, you got over $100,000 of profit sitting there between these 3 deals. Plus you got a couple of other ones. I know.
I think so, and I think that I've done something that it may be a sin in the deal bot world, but while I was reaching out to people, I bumped into a couple of wholesalers. These guys don't know what to do with their properties now. They're trying to sell them, and I said, "Look, what if we partnered?" I said, "Yeah." Okay. So I said, if you get $5,000 for these properties, you'd be happy, right? Yeah. I said, geez, you don't have a clue what I'm talking about. So this is all good. So, so I think I may do that a couple of times. There are a bunch of these guys that's all they have. This is one of the first things that Blair says in the introduction to your whole program, that, if you got one arrow, you got one arrow. And if you got one arrow in this market, you're not okay.
Yeah.
And if you do, so it just makes sense, I think, to do that.
Yeah, I agree. There's no such thing as a sin in transactional engineering. I mean, any way you can skin a cat, and there are a million ways to skin these cats. That if it comes out to a couple of bucks for you, it's a good deal. Especially if you have the low risk.
Right.
The return on 0 is pretty good. Whether it's 10,000, 30,000, 50,000. If you're spending nothing on a deal that somebody else brings you, and you're paying them 5 when the deal closes, that's a pretty sweet deal. That's a great return.
You can't do better. That interest rate is called infinity. If it costs
exactly. And you are one of the more higher paid speakers in the country to do that. And when I say speakers, you're just flapping your jaws talking to these guys, and you're getting paid a real high 6-digit paycheck on that deal. So good for you.
Yeah. So
any way you can do that, that's great.
We'll just keep it going. There's more coming. But we're not far enough along yet to talk about it. But it's coming.
Sure. All right. Well, thank you for the update. That sounds good. Any other questions?
Nice hat. Nice.
Oh, you like that, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. The rodeo.
I've rodeoed for years, but So it's kind of a fixture. Stays on my head most days.
It's good. Works good on you. All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate the input. Let's see.
All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got some golden nuggets out of that. As I said before, if you want to learn more about how you can get into this side of the business where we literally get paid like on a flip every time we acquire a cash flowing rental property. It's like the best of both worlds, like a hybrid between flippers and buy and hold guys. We're here doing deals where we're getting the benefits of both. So if you want to learn more about that, check out our free webinar at blairhalver.com, BLAIRHALV like Victor, ER.com. You can check us out there. The webinar is called How to Consistently Do 5 or More Deals a Month without wholesaling, without rehabbing, without chasing deals, and without working 80 hours a week. That's a long title. I had to remember that. Also, my attorney wants me to tell you, I am an idiot. Do not listen to anything I say. You will not make any money doing anything I say. So don't listen to me. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you're going to do with this information. All I'm trying to do is show you what I'm doing in my own business. Take it or leave it. And I am not an attorney. I'm not an accountant. So anything that you might have heard on this, don't take that as legal or accounting advice. Go consult your own professionals. I delegate all that stuff anyway. You definitely do not want to listen to me on that. All right? All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. We'll see you on the next one. Go ahead and click the like button, subscribe, whatever you do on whatever platform you're listening to this on. And we'd appreciate it. And if you've got some value out of it, please share it with a friend. Sharing is caring. All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one.